Hey guys, Jarek here, and Muki's back. Gonna be doing some more Smash for the 3DS. This time I'm playing as Charizard, and to no surprise, you were playing as Link, which you seem to do more than anything else. I feel like you want to say your best character is Yoshi, but you want Link to be your main character.
Kind of almost like Yoshi's kind of my like I'm pissed off and I want to win character.
Yoshi's the character where being aggressive works really well. Link is not necessarily a character you can just rush in and do well with. He's definitely more of a projectile character, so you can rush in, you can be an aggressive Link, but you really got to kind of use your projectiles to do that, so it makes it much more difficult. I want to talk about Charizard a little bit, because I was talking in the last video about a vote for where people think tiers should have been. Charizard was on the very bottom in that vote. Now, again, this is not a scientific way to figure out tiers or anything, so a lot of this information is obviously incorrect. I think Charizard should be a little bit higher than that, but he's still not... He's not really that a high tier. I feel he's a little bit too slow. He's not necessarily that floaty. He can't jump very well. I mean, his recovery is still good, don't get me wrong, but his jumps feel, like, really heavy. It almost feels like Ganondorf when you're jumping. The fact that he has numerous jumps is helpful, and
That's
the
fine.
fact that he has that
That's fine.
spike is really helpful, but, yeah, he's better than people are giving him credit for, but he's still, I don't feel like he's one of the better ones. You can use him well, though. I personally really like Charizard, you just gotta know what you're doing. And I feel like going over some of the moves he has, just kind of each move to move. The first one is one I really should be using more, his simple jab string, which is actually really good. I don't use it that much, I really should, and it's kind of similar in a way to Captain Falcon's Gentleman, this 3-hit jab string. It's
Hmm.
really quick. It's got to be one of the fastest ones in the game. And the last move on it has a decent amount of knockback. So I'm not sure why I don't use it, but I really need to.
I do want
His
to say that I find the Flare Blitz to be pretty predictable.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Flare Blitz, it's just
I
a
say
very
as I totally get knocked off the stage.
It's a situational move, very situational move. If you
Yes.
use it too much, obviously they're going to capitalize on it, but if you don't use it that much and let it be a surprise, it'll be very useful, and it's also a really good recovery move. And again, that spike is, I think I got it 3 times out of your 4 lives this
Oh, that
game.
spike. I think I just kind of like paused for a second there to just recollect.
Recollect,
Yeah,
recollect.
recollect, whatever. English.
And I got
And
it once
again.
again.
Oh god.
Gifting with Charizard is very easy. If you grab them, throw them off, and then spike them, they can, cancel it obviously, but I just pretty sure you weren't expecting me to do that quickly.
No,
Or go for
no.
it that early on in life.
You went for it
People
again that
people will
time.
learn. People will learn. You can only do it so many times before people start catching on.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to talk about his aerials because they really threw me off. There's a few moves specifically that threw me off from Project M to this. I miss Charizard Project M because Charizard Project M was absolutely ridiculously good, and I feel like he was really underrated. His aerial moves, his forward air, I'm not a fan of. It's really fast, but I don't know what about it. It's difficult for me to hit. The only time I've been able to find it be useful is when someone is starting to juggle me, and it's just kind of that good get off me, I'm going to hit you move. It's like the desperation smack, pretty much.
Mhm.
Or really good when you're kind of jumping off the ledge and going on stage to hit someone, since it's that fast. But it seems to have very little range because Charizard has this fucking tiny T-Rex arms. It's just hard to hit people with. His back air is really good, but it has a ton of landing lag, and it does have a sweet spot on the tip of the tail. His up air, it's decent, not really much to say about it. Use it, but meh. The only good approaches Charizard really has, and this is the most frustrating thing about Charizard, is dash attack, his run up and up smash, his jump, the short hop neutral air, which is still a pretty good dash attack, or still a pretty good approach, because it's the only move he has that doesn't have a shit ton of landing lag. This is Charizard's worst problem, is that every aerial move, you can't do anything after you land for the longest time. So, I don't know why you just let me hit you with that.
I don't know. I was trying to run away or something. I wasn't
Why?
thinking. I had a
Trying
brain
to run
fart.
away from a flare blitz is not going to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, Charizard's one of those characters where I feel like people just kind of haven't figured him out. He's a slower character, much like Ike, where it just feels frustrating to use because when you mess up, people can capitalize on you really hard. So you just kind of have to watch what you're doing and adjust to it. You aren't using a Marth where you can get away with a lot of stuff. Granted, he can still be punished, but Charizard's slow. That's all I really need to say.